Hey there, folks, and welcome to another Friday Night Spotlight brought to you by Jones Ford Buick GMC, your hometown dealer for more than 50 years. We are still in playoff mode here at Pinal Central, and lucky for us, this is the last game, the big one, 4A Conference Championship game, is between two Pinal County teams and also the top seeds in the conference, number 1 Poston Butte and number 2 Casa Grande Union. Both of these teams will be traveling up to Tempe to Sun Devil Stadium to battle it out and see who comes out on top Friday at 4 p.m. David, what are you expecting from this matchup?
Well, first of all, this is just a great moment for Pinal County and a really cool moment. Both of these two teams coming out of Pinal County and just competing in the 4A state championship is a really cool thing. There's so many storylines in this game as well, with Casa Grande trying to complete the perfect season after going undefeated in the regular season, and then as well as Poston Butte and Casa Grande as a whole. None of those teams have ever competed in a state championship game. This is their first appearance in school history for both of them, so it's a really cool thing, and it's going to be really interesting to watch. For both teams, they have both really high-powered offenses. You know, Casa Grande with their quarterback and recent NAU commit, Angel Flores. He's as dual threat as it gets with both. He can beat you with both his arm and his feet. They got RJ Keaton out at running back, who has the speed, the size, the athleticism, everything you need to be a top running back. And just they have 3 different receivers as well that have all surpassed 500 receiving yards. Demetrius Garrett, and Anthony Flores, and DeAndre Kelly, with the latter, DeAndre Kelly having 10 receiving touchdowns in the regular season. And so this is a team that can beat you in all sorts of ways. They can beat you with the pass and the run. And then with Poston Butte, they've always implemented a run-heavy and run-often game style with their offense, with running backs Octavius Joe, Keith Gray, Aiden Contreras, Justin Evans. They have a loaded running back room that is just able to beat you with any of those guys in the backfield. And then obviously probably one of their biggest rushers and best runners is Drew Dalmacio, their quarterback. He's more known as a running quarterback than he is as a passing quarterback, so that's going to be something to look out for. And like I said last week in the semifinal round for these two teams, I think it's going to come down to defense. I think these teams see who gets the most stops and gets the more important stops down the game. Casa Grande averaged just under 7 points allowed to their opponents in the regular season, and then Poston Butte has had a great defensive playoff run, with the defensive line being big up front, able to stop the opposing quarterback and running back, with their defensive backs being able to get a lot of interceptions, and then the linebackers were able to get a lot of forced fumbles. We saw that last week against Glendale. So this is a great team. These are 2 great teams that are going to be really fun to watch, and I can't wait to see it on Friday night.
All right, so just going back real quickly to how these teams got here. Last week, Poston Butte defeated number 4 Glendale 41-20, and very similar, CG Union defeated number 3 and 2-time defending champion Gilbert Mesquite 41-28. Also have to point out that these teams are very similar. CG Union has averaged around 38.2 points per game this year, and Poston Butte is at 38.6. So I think the key here is going to come down to the defense and whoever can make that critical stop. We know what the offenses can do, but what are the defenses going to be able to do to solidify this championship for their team? I mentioned it last week. The key for CG Union is to play a very clean game, which is what they did last week against Mesquite. They had no turnovers, and they only had 5 penalties for 38 yards. So if the Cougars can play another clean game, get those stops, then, you know, it could be the first time in over 90 years that they get a state title. For Poston Butte, also looking for that first championship. It is going to come down, I believe, to their offense. David mentioned it, their run-style game. They have that next man up mentality. This past week, we were unsure if Octavius Joe was going to be available, but he was. So, what can they do to keep the Cougar defense off on their toes? David, is there anything else you want to mention?
Yeah, I think we also have to look out for the big stage factor as well. Both these teams are playing at Sun Devil Stadium, which is a huge Division I, facility and a big football field for them. So look for them to see where they can rise in that moment, where they're able to kind of realize that this is a big stage, but also realize that they have business to do and it's just another game and it's the final game of the season. So I think that could play a factor, but I think that a lot of these guys are disciplined and a lot of these guys have realize that this moment is for the taking and they have to grasp it and not even worry about anything else but just playing their game. So whoever is able to come out on top, and there's only going to be one, real happy team at the end of the game, and that's going to be the winning team. So we'll find out who it is on Friday night, the Pinal County Bowl, the battle for Pinal County, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be a fun one to watch.
All right, that does it for our final Friday night spotlight. Be sure to check out Pinal Central over the weekend for our coverage on the game, as well as everything else we're going to have coming up.